door, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for two.
Go backing and backing, gets stalled again, and picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. Followed out a goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz!
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the three, and it's good.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good Monday evening here on KKIN AM 930 FM Translator 103.1. For those also tuning in with the video stream at yourliveevent.com. Paul Vold joined once again here on a Monday night, third consecutive Monday that the Aitkin Gobblers are in action tonight, with it being boys high school basketball on the airwaves here this evening. As Aitkin Gobblers sitting at a 5-8 record on the season take on the 4-7 Foley Falcons, a matchup traditionally seen during the Aitkin Quarterbacks Club Holiday Basketball Tournament, but this time it is going to be a matchup here in the regular season, not only with it being a little bit later than usual, but also crucial time for both these teams just to get more and more games under their team's belts. Paul Vold joined alongside with Jeremy Jansen here this evening. The Gobblers riding off a unfortunate loss on Friday, 42-36, a loss against rival Crosby Ironton. The rivalry is what we talked about, but it was also more of an important sectional conference and also just a home game at large for the Aitkin Gobblers, and unfortunately falling 42-36. The offense and the shooting just wasn't on the Gobblers' side from Friday night, Jeremy.
Enfield said, shoot 24% from the field, you're not going to win many games. And, you expected a tightly contested game by both teams, and it was. But I think the Gobblers felt it's one they should have gotten and probably could have gotten. And I think they'll have a little bitter taste in their mouth from the other night and hopefully bounce back game tonight.
Well, it starts off with this matchup against the Foley Falcons, who are 4-7 on the season out of Section 6-2A. Loss of 3 straight in a row, including a loss against Mora, 69-24, and that makes it for their last 5 games where they found themselves on the right side of the win-loss column, that being on the right directional, not right as in correct, but for the last 5 games have been losses for the Foley Falcons, but they do have a couple of players we're noting with Gavin Gross and Tegan Duval that do have double-digit performances. Duval's a double threat out of the center position for them, so Gobblers will keep their eyes peeled on him here tonight, and especially with the post position that's been fairly crucial in the last handful of games for the Gobblers, and especially here in the back half of the season, they're going to need those post players, of course, with Isaac Osmonds, Alex Palm as well, and even Nathan Price as well to pick up the game here, especially in the second half of the season for the Gobblers. We've got lots to get to here on the pregame show with the Gobblers taking on Foley tonight. Have our conversation with Coach Scott Stanfield coming up a little bit later here in the pregame show tonight. It's Foley taking on the Aitkin Gobblers Monday night basketball action here at KKIN AM The Gobbler and also on yourliveevent.com.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader. Definitely Miss Grader in class biology.
Mr. May.
Right now it's psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers.
Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
If you're
Welcome back here this evening to the pregame show as Aitkin Gobblers take on the Foley Falcons tonight. Boys High School basketball on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1. Those also checking out the video stream at yourliveevent.com. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen on the pregame show. Matchup here usually between the Aitkin Gobblers and the Foley Falcons. That is a contest, well, usually seen during the Aitkin Quarterbacks Club Holiday Basketball Tournament, including three of the last four times these two teams have crossed against each other. It's been during that holiday tournament, and there have been a couple of nail-biters coming on through as well, with Foley and Aitkin splitting the last four contests. Aitkin most recently winning last year's game 47-44 right here at Aitkin High School as well. But as we go into this post-game show a little bit more too, Jeremy, I know that the Gobblers didn't have much time to at least correct a few mistakes from the contest against Crosby Ironton, because that was Friday night. Then Saturday, Sunday, both gymnasiums were plenty busy with, the youth basketball tournament that took place during the weekend as well. And we heard from Coach Stanfield, or at least we will, during the pregame interview that, it was a little late shoot around Sunday night. Going into tonight's contest as well, the Gobblers had any opportunity to correct a few things, but we're at that point of the season too, where any time not in a game situation is just going to be, you got to make do with what you have so far.
Sometimes when you get at this point of the season, some of the things can be corrected on a whiteboard. You've ran through it so many times, and maybe it's just a breakdown in a defensive set or an offensive flow. And so that whiteboard does a lot of things. And I think the boys, if you asked them, they would have rather had this game today than a practice. Most of the time you want to get back on the bike after falling off. And I think the best way to correct some of that stuff is in the game itself. Although we as coaches may not agree with that all the time, the boys that are playing in the battlefield want to get back on the horse.
Well, Gobblers taking on Foley here tonight with Boys High School basketball on yourliveevent.com and KKIN AM. An early start tonight over with Aitkin, Pine River Bacchus. Make that with our matchup with Pillager playing host to Browerville Eagle Valley tonight. That one getting actually started that was about half an hour ago, even at the very latest. They're probably almost at halftime as well, but we'll wait for that out-of-town scoreboard to come up our way. Get another break here on the pregame show. We have our conversation with Coach Scott Stanfield, breaking down, of course, last night's, Friday night's game against Crosby Ironton, and, of course, the turnaround from Friday going into Monday as well with this matchup against the Foley Falcons. More still coming up here on the pregame show as Aitkin takes on Foley tonight. Boys High School basketball, KKIN AM The Gobbler, and yourliveevent.com.
Mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1. We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader. Definitely Miss Grader in class biology. Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
Welcome back to the pregame show tonight on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com's. Your Aitkin Gobblers take on the Foley Falcons tonight at boys high school basketball on a Monday night as we welcome in head coach for your Aitkin Gobblers. Scott Stanfield joins us here on the pregame show. And, Coach, we're back here once again Monday night. And, as always, thanks again for joining us here this evening.
Yep, another Monday, another game, so we'll see what happens tonight.
This one's supposed to be a little bit earlier on the schedule against Foley. We'll talk about the matchup against the Falcons tonight. But most recently, contest back on Friday, the rivalry matchup against the likes of Crosby Ironton. And it was an mentioned it many times during the game as well. Offense was at a premium for both teams, both ends of the floor. But it just seemed Crosby Ironton made the most of the limited offense as well, just winning by, obviously it was 42-36, a final score as well. But now making it, another tough stretch in your schedule, too. Looking back at that game, Crosby Ironton was just able to get, a little bit more of those offensive looks, rebounding, and then just capitalizing on a couple of late turnovers from your team, too.
Yeah, statistically, everything but shooting we kind of controlled. So Crosby shot 29% and we shot 24%. So that 5% difference was the game. And, if we make 3 more shots and go 16 for 53 instead of 13 for 53, we win the game. But Crosby could say the same. And I do believe both teams played extremely hard, and it was a physical game and a scrappy game, and there weren't many clean looks at the rim. And when you don't get any clean looks or, easy baskets, there were no easy baskets on either side either. So you can get into those kind of games, and that's what happened.
Coach, also, and now talking about, of course, with that one being a poor shooting night for your team, too, and now this recent stretch that you've had, too. Free throw shooting was a little bit better last night. Rebounds in the last couple of games have been left to something to be desired as well. But now that you've had some time, of course, in the last couple of games, you had, the weekend from Friday going into today, too. We were able to get the kids out on the floor. It just took the weekend off.
Well, we had our elementary tournament, so the facilities were full, so we couldn't get in and practice on Saturday. They came in and had an open gym shoot around amongst themselves last night. So it's very similar deal with that we had with Monaga. Our facilities just don't allow us to, if we host something, we're just locked out. We don't have a place to go, so that hurts us a ton. And but the kids adjust, and they'll be ready to go tonight. And we'll see what happens. Foley we played last year and in the Christmas tournaments in the past. So we know a little bit about them, but they're not in our conference or section. So it'll be kind of a new experience for both teams a little bit today.
Yeah, talking about that matchup against the Foley Falcons, like it said, you only see them really during the holiday tournament in recent years. That's been the only time that you've seen them, and it's been, a fairly even split with the head-to-head matchup too. But, not in your conference, not a sectional opponent as well. At this point now, it's just about getting games under your team's belt too. And, from what you've seen, a little bit of film, maybe a little bit of past history that you remember, what do they kind of present against your team here?
Well, they got a post player. I think his name is Duval. He's 6'4" kid, but he's real rugged and strong. So we'll have our hands full with him in the post. They feed it to him often. Their guard play, I think, if we can pressure them and make it as difficult as we can on them to see him in the post and get a good clean pass into the post. It'll help a lot. They mix up their defenses. They played some 1-2-2, some 2-3 zones and man, so we'll need to recognize and adjust as we go, and hopefully Braden and Brecken, we need to get them going. I hope they have a nice offense tonight. If we see some zone, that would really help us out.
I'm talking about too. Obviously, one thing we wanted to talk about, we forgot to mention in last Friday's pregame show too, is the production of Brecken Williams too. I know that he got a little bit roughed up in the previous contest too, but spoke to him during the shoot around leading up to the contest on Friday. Hip's okay, good to go, and obviously you want to see a little bit more out of the guards tonight to at least get a little bit more favorable with the production offensively too.
Yeah, they attacked the rim. They just didn't get calls going to the rim, and they had to make some tough contested shots, and they just didn't go in. I thought Eli Christie probably played one of his better games. He had 22 points and 10 rebounds, so he ended with a double-double, which is he's leading us in every category, including rebounding. So we need to get production out of other people. The effort is there, but we always talk about efforts there is meant to serve productivity. So if we're not producing, that effort is wasted, and we need guys to challenge them and produce when they're on the court, and that can be a difficult thing. We as coaches and parents and maybe radio guys too, we can be pretty critical at times, and we got to remember that these are just young men, and the game against Crosby, our kids played, they couldn't have played any harder, and it's their game, and that's all we can ask for as coaches, is that they do that, and they have. So they're in there fighting, we're not, and it's easy to sit back and pick apart what they did or didn't do, and so we got to be more aware of that as coaches, and I think as fans and players that are playing together, that we're giving it our best effort, and sometimes things go well and sometimes they don't, but we're going to continue to give it our best effort.
Well, Coach, we certainly appreciate the time as always. Look forward to talking to you after this win tonight again.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Paul.
Head coach for Aitkin Gobblers, having Scott Stanfield joining us here on the pregame show as the Gobblers take on the Foley Falcons tonight. Boys high school basketball here on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1. Gobblers here in short. Got to clean up the shooting here tonight because it's going to be a contest tonight, Jeremy, where, well, the Gobblers are going to have to put up some points here this evening as well.
Yeah, you look at some scores that Foley's put up and had a common opponent in Piers. I think that game ended 76-68, so an 8-point win for the Falcons. And, Gobblers were able to get a 5-point win against Piers, but a much lower scoring game. So we'll see. I think the tone will be set early by both teams. Gobblers typically come out and play a sound defense, and maybe that'll play to their favor tonight. And to your point, and Coach Stanfield's point, hopefully the guys come out with a hot hand tonight and shoot the ball a little better than they had hoped to against Crosby, and see what happens from there.
Get the opening tip coming up here on the other side of this break. National anthem on its way, along with the starting lineups. The Aitkin Gobblers take on the Foley Falcons tonight here on yourliveevent.com as well as KKIN AM. Don't forget, you can also listen to us now streaming 24/7 on KKIN AM thanks to Secure Net Systems. And again, we'll have the apps coming out before too long, so you can take the Gobbler with you anywhere through, of course, the Apple and even Android stores as well. Get the opening tip, starting lineups. National anthem is on its way as the Aitkin Gobblers play host to the Foley Falcons with boys high school basketball here on KKIN AM and also at rjbroadcasting.com and yourliveevent.com.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education, where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class.
My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
I was going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby. Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to stay at my freshman year for dance. Being able to participate in multiple sports teams.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect.
Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
Welcome back here this evening on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler. For those also tuning with the video stream at rjbroadcasting.com, I should say the video stream at yourliveevent.com. You can take the audio stream at rjbroadcasting.com as we get a look at our starting lineups with the Foley Falcons playing host to your Aitkin Gobblers here this evening. The Gobblers hosting the Falcons tonight. Starting first with the visiting team on the scoreboard tonight, number 1 is a junior at 6'1" and a guard position in Gavin Gross. Number 2 is a senior at 6 foot and a guard, Max Shimoleski. While number 4 is a junior 6 foot and at the guard position, Derek Dahman. While number 12 is a senior at 6 foot and a guard, and Ethan Novak. And number 25 is 6'4" and a senior center in Tegan Duval. Head coach for the Foley Falcons is Bennett Laird, assisted by Chris Gross, assisted the Foley Falcons. Well, for the Aitkin Gobblers tonight, their starting lineup will go like this. Number 0 is a senior 5'11" point guard in Eli Christie. Number 3 is a junior at 5'10" and a shooting guard in Braden Smith. Number 15 is a senior at 6'3" and a shooting forward in Alex Palm. Number 21 is a junior 5'11" point guard in Brecken Williams, while number 33 is a senior at 6'2" and a forward, and that will be Nathan Rice. Head coach for the Aitkin Gobblers in the second season is Scott Stanfield, assisted by Daryl Smith, Greg Hills, and Ben Schwartz. C-Squad fell in overtime against Foley by the score of 41-39. JV lost 50-39 against Foley as well. Gobblers hope two things: to score more than 39 points to their counterparts and also come out with a win here this evening against the Foley Falcons. Paul Vold with Jeremy Jansen on color and on statistical duty here tonight. Gobblers in the home blacks, Aitkin in white going across the chest with red trim, red numbers with white trim. Foley with the road whites tonight. Foley going across the chest in solid royal blue with black striping, black outline on the numbers and the letters here this evening.
I think the Gobblers, want to get off to a fast start, shoot the ball a couple times early, get that feel back after, playing Friday night and maybe choking it a little bit.
Gobblers will be working left to right to left on your radio dials and computer screens as the opening tip is won and controlled by the Falcons. Gavin Gross leading the charge offensively out of the opening tip. But it's tipped out of bounds by Eli Christie as the pass was looking for Max Shimoleski.
Looks like it's haircuts around. Eli got one, Paul got one.
Hoping for good juju with the shedded locks in multiple ways here for the Aitkin Gobblers. At the top of the circle for Gavin Gross. He's going to fire one straight on from downtown. He hits early on. It's a 3-0 start to the ball game for the Foley Falcons tonight, leading 3-0 against the Aitkin Gobblers with the fresh dew, that being for Eli Christie. Braden Smith will go back and forth with him and Christie as Eli will bring it up to the front court, work it out to the right wing, cross-court heave for Braden Smith. He looks to answer with a three of his own, off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded, tipped into the hands of Tegan Duval as he'll outlet pass out now to Max Shimoleski. Back up top, skip pass, stolen away by Christie. Christie at the midcourt line, he'll go right side, throws up a floater, and he's going to be fouled on his way to the basket. Palms at the sky for the likes of Gavin Gross. He will get free throws coming up for Eli Christie at the line for the first time tonight.
That's where Eli's so tricky there. He gets hands in passing lanes. A lot of steals throughout the season this far.
First free throw from Eli Christie and for the Gobblers is up and good, making it a 3-1 deficit here in this first few minutes of this first half. 17:05 to play. Second free throw is good. Makes it now 1 point differential. Shimoleski works it over to Derek Dahman, back to Shimoleski, heaves it across half court now to the far side for Gavin Gross. Fires up a three in the next possession off the side of the rim. Duval with a rebound, put back is good for Tegan Duval. Now makes it a 5-2 start for the Foley Falcons. 16:43 to play in the first half. Braden Smith and Eli Christie work it give and go across midcourt now to Brecken Williams at the top of the key. Kicks it left side down along the baseline for Nathan Price. Back up to Price. Swings it out right wing now for Braden Smith. At the right elbow extended back up to Brecken Williams as he slows up the offense, resetting the play. Right side now for Braden Smith. Back up top to Brecken. Swings it left now for Alex Palm. Just outside the perimeter for Christie. Double team on him. He'll drive baseline. Up with a scoop shot. No good. Rejected by the bottom of the hoop. And rebounded down by Duval. Outletted to Max Shimoleski. Gross looking for a high screen. We'll skip it to the free throw line. Now back up top for Gross. Looking right side. Back out once again for number 12. And Ethan Novak down low to Duval. be Novak out to Shimoleski at the free throw line. Passes it back out to the left wing. Up top for Gavin Gross with some space. Fires the three once again. Knocks it down and good. That's a couple of threes early on for Gavin Gross. It's 8-2 now to open up the ball game for the Foley Falcons against the Aitkin Gobblers. Just 2.5 minutes in, 15:30 to play in this first half. Gobblers trail 8-6. Gobblers get it across half court with the press coming up from the Foley Falcons. Eli Christie out on the right wing, back up top to Braden Smith. Smith could get going. That would be very beneficial for the Gobblers. Works the right side. Now going to fire up a three-pointer. No good. Put back from Price. A little bit too strong on the initial touch as it'll go out of bounds. Last touch by Nathan Price. Left all alone and just kind of rushed it, did Nathan Price. Had plenty of time for the putback as it just steered a little bit too far out in front. Gobblers turn the basket over. 8-2. Hurrying back the other way. Novak down low. Shot denied by the bottom of the rim. Rebounded to Eli Christie across half court. Takes his time. Crossing the midcourt stripe. Works it right side. Near travel, but keeps the foot glued to the floor. Smith over to Brecken Williams. High right side. Into the right corner just inside the arc. Price's shot off the side of the rim. No good. Rebounded down to Gavin Gross. Gross will outlet strong, down low, up and in for two as Derek Dahman. Gobblers down 10-2, and Coach Stanfield has seen enough here early on. Gobblers trailed 10-2 right out of the opening gate, 14:34 to play here in this first half as Gobblers down 10-2 here on the Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
10-2 is our score early on with just a few minutes into this contest. About 3.5 minutes in on YourLiveEvent.com and KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1. Paul Vold, Jeremy Jansen, two similar style offenses, but so far the Falcons are the beneficiary with a 10-2 lead here in this first half, Jeremy.
10-2. There's a little confusion on the floor right now. Coach Stanfield thought he called a 30-second, and there's a little conversation with the official who went over to the table and said it was a full timeout. So
see if that plays into effect coming up here in the later moments of this first half. Three-pointer from Braden Smith out of the timeout, no good. Ball loose on the floor, collected by the Falcons. Shimoleski will bring it out to the front court now for the Foley Falcons and hands it off to Gavin Gross at the top of the circle. Gobblers look to make a change here, next possible possession that they can. Gross straight on, three-pointer, good. Gavin Gross, I think 3 of 4 already from downtown. It's a 13-2 start, and he's got 9 of the 13 scored for the Falcons. Gavin Gross, who's averaging about 14, almost 15 points a game, as Brecken Williams gets a 2-on-1 out to the front court. As shot thrown on by Palm is no good. Outletted now, stolen away by the Gobblers and Eli Christie. As a rebound went from number 4, Derek Dahman, to the front court and throws it away. Braden Smith. Now to Eli Christie. At the free throw line, back out to Brecken Williams. Thought about the three. Passes it back up now to Eli Christie. At the free throw line, inside the paint for Alex Palm. Stripped out of his hands and turned right over back to the Falcons. We'll get it now to the right corner for Derek Dahman. Looks to drive, back out. Now to Gavin Gross. He'll drive at the free throw line. Duval through the middle, and a couple of Gobblers take him down to the floor. And we'll get 2 free throws coming up here. First team foul for the Aitkin Gobblers tonight. And a couple of black shirts in the middle. They're going to give this one to Isaac Osmus, who checked in during the timeout. See a couple of Falcons as well as a fellow Gobbler check in. The front end of 2 for Derek Dahman is good. 14-2 the score. Braden Smith is out. Andrew Martinson is in. Chase Dollar and Cole Ruckert in for the Foley Falcons. Second free throw is good from that being Tegan Duval. Gobblers try to break it out to the front court, and a push in transition there as Martinson was in the front court, but pushed down to the floor by Cole Rucker. As that'll be his first, team's second. Still a 15-2 deficit for the Aitkin Gobblers with just under 13 minutes to play here in this first half. Work it out to the left wing now from Martinson to Eli Christie on the right wing with an intermediate pass now to Brecken Williams. Back to Martinson. Skips it back to Williams at the top of the circle. Back out. Left wing now for the Gobblers, Alex Palm. Skip pass right side. Driving in is Eli Christie. His shot finally goes in for the Gobblers. Gobblers trail now 15-4 with 12:27 to go here. All 4 points for the Gobblers belong to Eli Christie.
Gobblers doing a little man-to-man defense here.
Cole Rucker with the handle of the basketball at the free throw line. Back out to Tegan Duval. Duval, Gavin Gross, 3 on the way. Right wing, no good. Rebounded down to Eli Christie. Gives it up to Brecken Williams at the front court. Straight on. Right side, Martinson fakes the 3. Williams gets the handle. Free throw line jumper basket will not go, but he is fouled as he released the shot. Gobblers could have used that one, but nonetheless, they'll head to the free throw line as Brecken Williams at the line for a pair.
Second time to the line for the Gobblers.
Foul goes against number 4, Derek Dahman for the Foley Falcons. Front end of 2 for Brecken Williams, no good. Gobblers still trail 15-4. Monday evening matchup. Back-to-back Mondays for the Gobblers, and I believe the ones before that was for the girls. As a timeout, or officials timeout, as the, we'll get substitution as Brecken makes the second free throw, and Ryan Alexander will check in for the Gobblers. Floor combination of Alexander, Christie, Martinson, Osmus, and Palm out on the floor for Aitkin. Falcons with Gavin Gross, 9 points, fed down low to Tegan Duval, loses the handle, last touch by the Falcons. It will go back to the Gobblers.
3 turnovers so far tonight for the Falcons, just 1 for the Gobblers.
Alexander and Christie play give and go at their own free throw line. Try to get it up to the front court here. Alexander back to the free throw line. Got to get it across the timeline. They do. Back to Alexander after a launch pass to Isaac Osmus. At the top of the circle for Alexander to Andrew Martinson. Hot pass to Alex Palm. The Gobblers get lucky with the loose ball. Back to Ryan Alexander. Gets it to Palm once again. Alexander straight on from the free throw circle. Looks for a pass back out. Trying to get a handoff. He will to Eli Christie with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Gobblers trail 15-5. Christie in the right wing to Alexander. Swings it over at the free throw line to Alex Palm. Right through his hands as it was last touched. And might have impeded upon there with a little help from a Foley Falcon. But the Gobblers get the ball right back. 11:02 to go here in this first half. Gobblers trail by 10 as Tegan Duval is out.
Foley playing a nice job, really pressing on the defense, making the Gobblers work for everything they've got so far.
Ethan Novak back into the game for the Falcons, as it'll be Eli Christie. Shot thrown up, no call on the potential fouls. He released the shot. Rebounded to the hands of Gavin Gross, who brings it to the front court now. Throws up a runner, no good. Putback is laid up and in. That will be for number 4 and Derek Dahman. 17-5 the lead now for Foley. 10.5 to go in the first half. 17-5. Left alone, Isaac Osmus tries to go up and will get denied by the back of the rim. And Isaac Osmus left all alone. And I think there was a collective breath being held there for a second. First off, the Gobblers were just looking for points. And of course, the rim denies Osmus at the free throw line for his first attempts at the line. Second foul as well for Gavin Gross with 10:20 to play.
They kind of just sat up there and spun around and then fell off.
17-6 is the first of 2 from Isaac is good. Alex Palm will come off the floor with Braden Smith checking back into the ball game. Second free throw from Isaac. On its way up. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded down to number 12 and Ethan Novak. Hands it off to Derek Dahman. Brings it across half court for the Falcons. Works it right side for Novak into the corner for Ruckert. Just inside the arc for Ruckert. Gets it back over to number 12 and Ethan Novak. to number 11, Chase Dollar. Throws up a floater, no basket, even if there went in. But it will be no continuation, no shooting foul.
Andrew Martinson on that.
Andrew will get his first of the night. Team second as well of this first half, trailing 17-6 with 10:01 to play in the first half. Inbound, turnaround shot from Dollar, no good. Rebound will eventually end up in the hands of Martinson after a couple of rings around by the likes of Isaac Osmus as Braden Smith works it up to the front court now, working it left side for Alexander. Back to Smith, looking for somewhere to go in the paint with it, but the Falcons keying in on the double team to Eli Christie. Bank shot up and in and good. Gobblers kept the lead down to 11 at 17-8. Defense got to play big on this possession. The Gobblers down, 9.5 to go. Left-handed runner is no good. Rebounded down to Christie as a shot from Dollar, not enough. So it circled around but kicked right back out. Braden Smith.
3 rebounds for Eli, 5 total for the Gobblers, 9 for the Falcons.
Martinson, skip pass to Alexander. Braden Smith left alone, draws a double team, but he'll drive. Runner outside the paint is up and good. 17-7 as the Falcons trying to find a way to get two of their playmakers back in. And Duval, and also looks like number 10, Tyler Smith, will look to check in. But they got to wait here at least until another whistle comes as Dollar throws up a shot at the free throw line. Good. 19-10 the score. Gobblers trail. Chase Dollar, that is, the junior forward at 6'1". Alexander and Christie. Martinson left alone as he gets it across half court. He'll look to drive. Runner, a bank shot up and in for Andrew Martinson is good.
Nice little soft touch off the glass by Andrew there.
8.5 to play. Foley up with a 7-point advantage at 19-12. Runner back the other way is no good. Martinson with a rebound. Mason Zimmer with the shot, no good. 8:15 to go here in this first half. Alexander with the handle of the basketball. To Braden Smith, right side. Looks for some space to pass, which he will. To Alexander between midcourt and the top of the circle. Martinson left alone. 3-pointer off the back of the iron, no good. As it'll be Eli Christie with the rebound in the right corner now. Back out to Braden Smith. Smith back to Christie, almost taken away. Steps inside. Jumper is up. It is good for Eli Christie, and a quick timeout taken on the floor by the Foley Falcons. Gobblers cut it down to a 5-point deficit. 8 points for Eli Christie, with it being a 7:47 time left here in this first half. 19-14. Gobblers have come back here, starting to get some shots to come their way here recently.
A little 6-0 run for the Gobblers. Back on the boards, too. Eli with 7 total rebounds for the Gobblers and 9 for the Falcons. At one point, it was 9-3, and that was where the difference in the game was. We weren't rebounding great. A lot of one-shots and gone, and so Gobblers doing a nice job here, pecking their way, running the offense. Coach Stanfield's got a nice set up there in the half-court set, and they're following through and getting some good looks.
Nice little matchup here with, of course, Ryan Alexander and Andrew Martinson on the floor as well here recently for the Gobblers, playing some big minutes already in this first half. But the Foley Falcons out of the timeout do get back onto the floor. Ethan Novak will handle the basketball with Mason Zimmer. As Tegan Duval, as we get a travel called against the Foley Falcons. Tyler Smith, the junior guard, checks into the game as well, wearing number 10 for the Falcons. 7:33 to go here in this first half. Gobblers down 5. Tegan Duval, near double-double machine at 12.3 points per game. Just over 9 rebounds, a ball game as well. And now at 12 games this season for the Falcons. Christie down low to Isaac Osmus as he takes one off the backboard and was denied the shot. He knew the contact was coming. He led his way to the free throw line of the foul assessed to Foley. Now up to their 5th team foul of this contest. It'll go Ethan Novak. His first of the evening, and Osmus back at the line for a pair. First free throw missed by Osmus. $7:15 to play in the first half. Second free throw from Isaac is no good. Rebound tipped out of the air, and coming down with it is Mason Zimmer. Zimmer comes across midcourt. Skip to the line. At the free throw line, that is, to Tegan Duval. Ball Poked out of the hands and almost turned it over, and near over and back, but getting rid of it were the Falcons at the top of the circle. Gobbler defense playing gritty defense so far, and we're going to get a foul called against Ryan Alexander. Not giving up on the play and all was Ryan Alexander, even with starting out back in midcourt, chased the ball handler down and almost very close. If he stays on his feet, might have drawn the jump ball.
Very close to that. Just got a hold of the arm and let go of the ball.
Third foul of the half for Aitkin. First for Alexander as well. 6:43 to go in the first half. 19-14, Gobblers trail even after trailing by as much as 11. Tegan Duval up against Isaac Osmus. Ball intercepted, stolen away by Osmus as he'll hand off to Eli Christie. That's a good matchup, 6'8" against 6'4", senior versus a freshman. Osmus, the contemporary to, of course, Duval. Braden Smith at the free throw line, down low. Martinson high off the glass, no good. Rebounded into the hands of Novak. He'll give it up to his teammate Derek Dahman across the timeline. To Novak at the top of the circle, works it right side, gets a screen from Duval. Left side now for number 10, Ian Tyler Smith. Look for him pass down low. Zimmer at the free throw line to Novak. Back to Zimmer. Left elbow jumper, no good. Rebounded down to Martinson. Gives it up to Christie with under 6 to go in the first half. We'll see 3 new bodies for the Gobblers coming in. Next opportunity, they can get the chance to switch out. Alexander gets a screen from Martinson, and we get a block foul, and it will be against.
It's like a moving screen.
Yeah, moving screen. Martinson will get his second, I believe. It'll be his second, team's fourth. Palm, Tanner Nissen, and Nathan Price into the contest. Nissen in for the first time tonight for the Gobblers. Checking out will be, looks like Osmus, Alexander, and also Martinson. Ball poked in the hands by Christie, and I think we're going to get a foul against Eli. Brecken Williams will check back into the game. Foul against Eli, that is his first, with 5:36 to play in the first half. Gobblers trail 19-14. Eli Christie leading the Gobblers' way with 8 points in this first half. Offense been sluggish, at least in the last minute and a half for both teams. Down low to Tegan Duval. Duval outside the paint, pushing his way in against Nathan Price into the right corner. Driving, Zimmer shot no good. Bounces it off the back of his head. Does a Foley Falcon. We got a foul called underneath the basket as the rebound went off the back of Mason Zimmer's head into the hands of Ethan Novak. Foul goes against Eli, they're going to call, and I believe that's going to be his second. Scoreboard says that's his first.
It is his second.
It is his second.
He picked up the other one just right here.
Just moments ago.
Yep.
Inbound. Dahman inside to number 15 and Cole Ruckert. Swinging around to Duval into the right corner for Shimoleski. That's Max Shimoleski. Off the bench once again after a little bit of a break. Into the hands, Tegan Duval. His basket is up. It's good, and one foul called against the Gobblers, and that'll be against Nathan Price. That'll be his first. Team 7th already for the half. Gobblers were at a stretch where it was 5-2 in fouls. Now 5 straight fouls called against them. And one free throw from Duval. It's no good. Price gets the rebound. Gobblers down 7, 21-14. To the front court for Brecken Williams. Williams at the top of the circle, right side for Tanner Nissen to Nathan Price, looking for a flash pass into the paint. Nowhere to go to Alex Palm now at the top of the circle. Switches, hands it off to Brecken Williams from the right elbow, stops, pops his shot, is no good, went halfway down, kicked back out from Brecken into the hands of Duval with a rebound. Shimoleski, almost a turnover on the other side, now setting up for Tyler Smith. Smith with the handle of the basketball, skip pass from the left elbow extended to Tegan Duval. Duval will get it over to number 4 and Derek Dahman. Dahman swing pass out to the far side of the court for Cole Ruckert. Looking down low, kept in somehow by the Falcons along the baseline. Shimoleski left alone for 3 is good. Gobblers now find themselves down 10 points after trailing by 5. 24-14 with 4:08 to play in the first half. Gobblers down here with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Braden Smith stops outside the lane, looks for a pass down low, force pass. Shimoleski intercepts it. They'll bring it up to the front court. Left side. 3 on the way. No good. A rebound into the hands of Tanner Nissen. The 3 from Tyler Smith, no good. Nissen gets the board for the Gobblers. Down 10, 24-14. 3:40 to go and counting down left in this first half. Gobblers just need a basket of some kind here on this possession. Some offensive movement to Alex Palm, to Tanner Nissen. Around the horn, they'll try to get the offense rolling. To Nathan Price, left wing now for Alex Palm. Trying to find something down low in the paint. Foley snips it out once again. To Brecken Williams, works away from the screen, does Brecken at the top of the circle, left side for Brayden Smith. He's gonna fire a 3, might have been rushed, but it's good nonetheless. Gobblers get a basket that they needed from Brayden Smith.
Braden's going to get contested most games he plays, but I think Coach Stanfield would like him to take a couple more of those shots.
24-17. Shimoleski gets a screen. Look for a pass somewhere. It's ball loose out on the floor. Shimoleski from the free throw line. Down low. Dahman's shot is up and good. 26-17. 2.5 to go in the first half. Gobblers trail. Down as much as 11. Trailed by as little as 5 points here in this first half. Is Brayden Smith for another 3. Good. Back-to-back threes for Brayden Smith. Gobblers needed that one on the other end as well. 26-20. 2:19 to go. Gobblers defense. Use a stop with Shimoleski to Dahman. His shot is up and good. Shots are falling for the Falcons. Gobblers need to respond. Down 8, 28-20. 2 minutes to go. Nissen to the front court for Brecken Williams. Swings it out right side for Price. Into the right wing now. Gets a screen. Does Brayden Smith from Price. Backs out near the Foley bench once again. In the right corner now for Tanner Nissen. Nissen at the top of the circle. A pass for Brecken Williams. Pass from the right elbow. Extended out. 3 on the way from Alex Palm is good. Alex Palm, how you doing?
I saw Alex in warm-ups attempt 3 or 4 of those and nothing but the bottom of the net. Good to see him take that shot.
Saving them for when they matter. Gobblers down 5, 28-23, but 90 seconds to go in the first half. Dahman up to Cole Ruckert on the right wing. Hands it off to Shimoleski. Pass poked out of bounds by Alex Palm. As we'll see, bodies check in for both sides. Ryan Alexander will come in for Tanner Nissen. Chase Dollar and Ethan Novak, and Chase Dollar back in for the Falcons of Foley. 28-23, minute 19 to go in the first half. Tyler Smith over to Ethan Novak on the left wing. Looks for a pass down low to Tegan Duval. Loses the handle. Gobblers come out with it with Brayden Smith, and so we got some contention on the ball as Brayden Smith had clear possession, but it looks like number 10, Tyler Smith, a little too close for Brayden's comfort. And we'll get a defensive foul against Tyler Smith. First of the half for him. Team 6th with 1:07 to go. Gobblers down 28-23 as Isaac Osmus back in for Nathan Price. Gobblers will break the offense across the midcourt stripe with Brecken Williams. Right side now for Isaac Osmus. Down low for Alex Palm. Palm spins. Right-handed shot high off the glass. No good. Rebounded down to Tegan Duval. Duval will break the offense across the midcourt line to the right wing. He'll keep up. 3 on the way is up and no good. Rebound loose. Alexander gets the loose ball with number 11. Chase Dollar's 3-point shot. No good. Gobblers down 5, 28-23. Brayden Smith, and we get a foul call on the backside. This one against Alex Palm. Team's 8th foul of the half. Offensive foul. And gives the ball back to the Foley Falcons. 35 seconds to go until the half. Shimoleski at the top of the key. Right side pass to Ethan Novak. Into the corner now for Shimoleski once again. Surveys through the defense. Tries to get a penetrating pass to Ethan Novak. Ball loose out on the floor. Gobblers try to strip it right back. We got a jump ball. Possession arrow says to Aitkin. As Isaac Osmus using the long reach with that loose ball on the floor.
He tipped it to begin with because of the loose ball and then was able to get on.
It's a bit of a low pass as well to Novak. Never had really clear and control possession of it from the free throw line. So Osmus got the big mitts in there. Back into the game for Ryan Alexander is Eli Christie. 21 seconds to go. Gobblers down 5. 28-23. Brecken Williams across half court to Isaac Osmus, left wing for Eli Christie. Back up to Brecken Williams. Gobblers hold for the final shot with 7 seconds. Back out now, Brecken to Braden. Deep three from Braden, no good. Looking for the putback on the rebound. Ball on the floor. It's going to be, well, shot no good for the Gobblers, but they trail 28-23 going into the halftime locker room against Foley. Gobblers trail. We'll take a break here. Halftime report coming up with their out-of-town scoreboard. Of course, we'll get a look at, the numbers from this first half. Second half adjustments. Gobblers trail 28-23 on KKIN AM The Gobbler and also YourLiveEvent.com.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education, where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
AceYourRetirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
28-23 our halftime score on KKIN AM 930 FM 103.1 The Gobbler. And for those tuning in with the video stream at YourLiveEvent.com. Gobblers against the Foley Falcons tonight. It was a hot shooting start for the Foley Falcons, but things starting to even out towards the back half of the first half, including which it started off 9 first half points, all from downtown from Gavin Gross. But since then, it's been a, real collective effort in the later stages of the first half for the Foley Falcons. But the Gobblers, of course, getting 8 first half points from Braden Smith and Eli Christie as well. They trail by 5 here at the halftime break. But Jeremy, we did mention as well, the Gobblers were getting out rebounded early on, started to even out, and that's when the offense started to come through for Aitkin.
Yeah, early on, 9-3 rebounds in favor of the Falcons, ended 13-10. So Gobblers out-rebounded the second half of that, second part of that first half. Did a nice job. Got into their offensive set, got some good looks, made some buckets. Some things that they wanted to stay away from is that run and gun, and they early on the Falcons got a couple transition buckets pretty easy off a miss and a kick and a guy streaking down the floor. So Gobblers, what you said, Eli Christie with 8, Braden Smith with 8, Eli with 4 rebounds on the night, Martinson with 3 so far. So guys off the bench playing well for the Gobblers too. Tanner Nissen come in and did a nice job defensively. Martinson there had 2 points, 3 rebounds in that in the first half, and Ryan Alexander coming in and playing some good defense. So guys off the bench contributing to the Gobblers here in the first half. Hopefully come out in second half and continue what they were growing on there in the first half.
Gobblers trailed 28-23 here at the halftime break. Our other score on the airwaves here this evening does include at halftime, now into the second half most likely, a halftime score, boys high school basketball with Pillager at the half against Browerville Eagle Valley. That's that's girls high school basketball tonight. 34-22 Pillager on top of the half at Cash 95.93 WIFM. Halftime break coming up here. Of course, the Gobblers trail by 5, 28-23 here on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
So we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
Mr. May's ornithology class. My last 6 years on the Aitkin All-Stars.
Going to Rumble on the Red wrestling tournament.
Just going to the state tournament last year for wrestling.
Making one of those last-minute shots against Crosby. Going to state my 10th grade year for wrestling.
The Virginia tournament during basketball.
My chemistry class last year.
I would say the Virginia tournament.
Going to state my freshman year for dance. Being able to participate in multiple sports teams. We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
I'm dreaming of a world where the crack of a bat is not just a hobby, but a lifestyle. Where I can build upon long traditions from the ground up. I want to work in an industry where all people can make their own field of dreams become reality. I'm going to elevate the world of sports someday.
If you're
Welcome back here on KKIN, AM 930 FM translator 103.1. For those tuning in to the video stream at yourliveevent.com, a couple of minutes left here with the halftime break. Gobblers trail 28-23. Turnovers down significantly compared to other contests between for the Aitkin Gobblers as well, and that's been a welcome sight here in the last handful of games as well. I mean, the score, I should say, the results overall may not indicate that the Gobblers are looking down, but as long as the turnovers stay down, the Gobblers are still competing here in a lot of these contests as of late, Jeremy.
Yeah, down 10 too early. Coach Stanfield calls a timeout, and Gobblers crawl their way back in 19-14, so right back down to 5-point deficit, and they pecked away, and then Foley stretches it back out to 10 or 11 points, and the Gobblers cut it back to 5 at half. So, and again, the Gobblers played a pretty clean half, only 2 turnovers. Yeah. The Gobblers 6 for the Falcons, and I like what the Gobblers doing. They're staying to their offense, getting some open looks and making some shots fall. I think where the rebounds, again, the Crosby game, we didn't rebound well on the offensive end of the floor, and we didn't get a lot of second chance points. Defensively, this first half, we rebounded the ball well. It's going to take us some more offensive rebounds in this second half to get us some second chance opportunities.
Gobblers trail 28-23 here at the halftime break, and especially with the production early on from Gavin Gross. I say that at least the last 10 minutes of the first half didn't really call his name at all. I think he stayed out a majority of that first half after those 8 quick points.
He got his second foul early, too.
This is also true, yes.
And Eli sat down early as well. So both point guards with 2 fouls early, and both spent 4 or 5 minutes on the bench.
Keep our eye on that as we head into the second half. A reminder as well, their broadcast schedule coming up, we'll have Aitkin Gobbler Wrestling tomorrow night on yourliveevent.com. The Gobbler Wrestlers will be, well, they've been quite busy here the last week and a half. They have 3 matches hosted in the last week and a half, including tomorrow night as they take on Malacca, 6:40 pregame right here on yourliveevent.com. And they'll be hosting on Thursday as well. Again, full broadcast schedule and more for Aitkin Gobbler home events if they are on yourliveevent.com, which they will be tonight, tomorrow night, Thursday night, as well as Friday night. You can find on yourliveevent.com. Friday night, the Aitkin Gobbler girls will play host to Pequot Lakes, a pivotal, that being mid-state conference matchup as well, with Pequot Lakes making the trip over to Aitkin High School.
Yeah, that game Friday night, Paul, that Pequot Lakes team to the state tournament last year with mostly sophomores and juniors return, and they've got a nice senior core with some nice junior players. So it's going to be a tough go for the Gobblers Friday night, but those are the games you want to play in to see where you need to improve.
It will certainly be quite the matchup. Again, that'll be Friday night right here on yourliveevent.com as well as KKIN AM. Take a quick break. Second half coming your way. Gobblers down 28-23. KKIN AM and yourliveevent.com.
You want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just
like that, quick break. Second half just moments away here with the Aitkin Gobblers trailing 28-23 here on KKIN AM The Gobbler, YourLiveEvent.com. Aitkin Gobblers trail by that score of 5 at 28-23. Gobblers will be working left to right on your radio dials and on your computer screens as well on YourLiveEvent.com and RJBroadcasting.com, and on your radios with that being KKIN AM 930, FM translator 103.1. Ball hold, Jeremy Jansen, second half underway. Foley with the basketball out of the halftime locker room. Derek Dahman will bring out the front court of the offense, and Gavin Gross, original starting five, poked out of his hands. It'll be a loose ball on the floor. Brecken Williams as the Gobblers defense trying to get the ball out of Gavin Gross's hands as quick as possible, and it leads to almost a near turnover. Shimoleski will take the inbound across the midcourt stripe for the Foley Falcons. Shimoleski looks through the Gobbler defense. Works left side now, looking for a pass, trying to get it to Duval's hands, but he'll keep it himself. Up top now for Novak. To the right wing, handoff to Gavin Gross. He'll streak from the right elbow, back out. Duval going to fire a three-pointer, no good. Rebounded down to Novak. Outlets back out to the left, right wing for Gavin Gross. High arcing three-pointer, no good. And the senior Duval tries to get the loose ball over the top of 6'8" Isaac Osmus. Leads to a turnover. Gobbler gets the basketball. 28-23, Gobblers will get their first possession to start the second half as Foley defense breaking through across midcourt. Alex Palm keeps it in front and almost landing in the student section, but keeps the possession alive for Aitkin. Braden Smith fakes the three from the free throw line. Underhands, and a foul called on the floor as he was making his way to the hoop. Looked the pass to Isaac Osmus, but he was impeded upon as a foul assessed to Max Shimoleski. His first, the senior guard at 6 foot. Grew up with a few Shimoleskis in southeastern Minnesota as the inbound jumper from Isaac Osmus, no good, and coming out with it is Dahman across half court now to Shimoleski. Left side as the wing pass from Duval gets it back to Gavin Gross. Gross works away from the screen from Duval. He'll go to the free throw line, pass back out to Ethan Novak. Hands it off to Shimoleski out on the right wing. From the free throw line, dishes it back out to Duval. Looks for a handoff. He will to Derek Dahman. Eli Christie tries to commit on the steal. Can't get the ball out of the hands of Dahman. Novak to Gross at the free throw line. Drives inside, throws up a runner. No good. Rebounded down to Isaac Osmus. 16-11 to go. Still remains at 28-23. Looking for our first points to start the second half.
Foley comes out and kind of runs that Wisconsin Badger offense where they hand off through on the top of the key and looking for guys to streak to the hoop.
Right side now to the wing for Alex Palm, looking for that cross-court heave, tipped out of his hands. It was last touch by Aitkin, they're going to say.
That went off of Foley, then off of the fingertips of Braden and out of bounds.
Great vision by the official down on the floor as well to see the fingertip last touched by Braden Smith. Gobblers turn it over. 28-23, first points of the second half. Nowhere to be found a little over 2 minutes in. Gavin Gross with the handle to Tegan Duval at the top of the court. Now to Shimoleski, down low to Duval, tries to go to two-hand jam, but it's going to be rejected by the Gobblers. And, well, it's Eli Christie comes out with the loose ball. Skip pass through two bodies, one of them a Foley Falcon. Outlet, down low, Dahman. Foul going to be called on the floor as Eli Christie looks like that'll be his third. Confirmation, yes, that'll be Eli's third foul. Confirmation from public address announcer Jason Henke that it is his third. Scoreboard says 2, but we do know it's 3. Gavin Gross streaks right in untouched. First points of the second half belong to the Falcons, 30-23. Braden Smith, Brecken Williams. Brecken tries to break through the defense. Yes, he will as he gets a pass over to Braden. Back up top to Brecken. Left side now on the wing. Braden's going to fire up a three-pointer short of the mark. Rebounded. Gross says he'll come out with it as it'll hand it off now on a long court pass. Novak to Shimileski, back to Gavin Gross for a three. Good. Gavin Gross knocks it down. A 5-0 run to start the half. Gobblers are back down 10 at 33-23. Timeout called by Coach Stanfield for the Aitkin Gobblers, and looking like at the direction of a full timeout, which will afford us an opportunity as well. Take a break here on KKIN AM The Gobbler and yourliveevent.com.
1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD.
33-23 our score right out of the halftime locker room. Few minutes in, it's a 5-0 run to start the half for the, well, that being belonging to the Foley Falcons. The Aitkin Gobblers trail, that being 33-23. Almost ripped the headset off of my color commentator here tonight, that being Jeremy Jansen. Oh boy, things not going right on a lot of fronts. Might as well throw on the radio broadcast here tonight too, but nonetheless, everybody's still got their head on at least. But Gobblers here, just looking for offense to start off. Eli Christie picked up his third foul out of the timeout. He's sitting on the bench as well, and that brings back in Andrew Martinson for the Gobblers.
2 turnovers early for the Gobblers, too.
Final score over on the Cash, 95.9 3WI-FM. An early start will benefit for the Pillager Huskies as they defeat Browerville Eagle Valley 66-44. Cash 95, that being girls high school basketball. 33-23 Gobblers trail as Alex Palm tries to get the basketball back in his hands, and he'll double dribble, unfortunately, and another turnover for the Gobblers here to start off the half. 14-18 to go in the first half, and Coach Stanfield's looking for a sub, and he will get Ryan Alexander check into the ball game for Aitkin. That brings out Alex Palm. Floor does include for the Gobblers Osmus, Martinson, Alexander, Williams, and Smith for Aitkin. 5-0 run to start the half. 33-23. Aitkin trails Foley. Cole Ruckert at the free throw line somehow keeps it as he's falling to the ground. Gets it out to Gavin Gross. Gross with now leading the way with 14 points for Foley. Tegan Duval from the left elbow dishes it back out to Gross. He'll back out. Gets a screen from Duval, does Gross at the top of the circle now to Ruckert. Ruckert hands it off once again to Derek Dahman. Straight on at the top of the circle now for Duval. He'll hand it off to number 11, Ian, and Chase Dollar. Dollar through the lane, spin shot up and in, good for 2 more. It's a 12-point lead for the Foley Falcons. Gobblers try to get it across in transition. They will with Andrew Martinson. Hands it off to Braden Smith. Smith, pass left side for Brecken Williams. Left corner, 3 from Ryan Alexander, no good. Put back is good for Andrew Martinson. Back down by 10 at 35-25. 13-13 to play in the second half. Gavin Gross across the timeline with 14 points. Finished off with 8 to start the first half. Lays it up and in, contested, and 2 more. This one to Tegan Duval. Up against Isaac Osmus, wins that battle 37-25, back up to a 12-point advantage. Riley Alexander and Brecken Williams get it across half court just barely. Now to Brecken from Braden Smith, back to Braden at the top of the circle. Dribbles his way to left wing, now back up top. Swings it right side now for Brecken. Flash in the lane, turnaround shot, halfway up, blocked by Tegan Duval from Ryan to Andrew Martinson, that is. Left corner, Duval. Passes it to Gavin Gross at the top of the circle. Gets a screen. Pass right side for Chase Dollar. Dollar hands it off to Dahman. Down low for Ruckert. Turnaround shot off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound now collected by Isaac Osmus. Initially in his hands, stripped out, but recollects it does Isaac. 12 minutes to go. Gobblers down 37-25. Alexander swings it out left side from Brecken Williams to Brayden Smith. Back to Brecken at the top of the circle. Left wing. Brayden holds up. Thought about the deep three. He'll get it back to Brecken left wing now for Ryan Alexander to Osmus driving from the left elbow. Brecken throws up a runner. No good. Rebound from Osmus. He's going to be fouled and can't get the shot to go, but the Gobblers will head to the line for 2 free throws for Isaac Osmus. Gavin Gross assessed a foul. That's his third. Gobblers get him off the floor. That's going to be a big difference maker in this second half.
That's when they made their run last time.
First free throw from Osmus, no good. And that'll bring in Mason Zimmer. Now Gross coming off will come to the bench with his third foul. So I think both teams happy the opposing point guard now sits at the bench with 3 fouls apiece. Second free throw, no good. Rebounded down to Rucker. Gobblers defense going to have to come through here with 11:40 to play. Nathan Price will wait for a chance to check in for Aitkin. Right side for number 11 and Chase Dollar. Dollar at the right elbow. Passes it back out now for number 4 and Derek Dahman. Swings right side now to the wing. Pass going to be thrown away by Foley. Tegan Duval was looking to get it right back to Mason Zimmer. As he was streaking one direction, the ball went the other.
First turnover of this half for the Falcons, 3 for the Gobblers.
11:21 to go. Ryan Alexander out, and also Isaac Osmus brings back in Eli Christie and Nathan Price. Martinson to Christie. Almost throws it away as it thankfully as well. Chase Dollar pokes it out of bounds. Stays with the Gobblers, 11:11 to play in the second half, down by 12, 37-25. Gobblers only 2 points here out of the second half so far. Into the right corner, Brayden Smith gets it Eli Christie to Brecken Williams. Gets it to Andrew Martinson, fires up a 3, short of the mark as it's rebounded to the hands of Cole Rucker. Gobblers turn it back the other way now defensively. To the other side. Driving into the right corner now for Dahman, being defended by Martinson in that right corner, and we get a foul called against Martinson in that right corner on the far side. That will be a foul against Andrew Martinson. That will be his third, team second of the half. Alex Palm's back in. He'll come in for Andrew Martinson. Gavin Gross and Ethan Novak back in for the Foley Falcons. Inbound right to Novak. His shot off the side, no good. Rebounded back out. Mason Zimmer for a 3. Rebounded into the hands of Eli Christie for the Gobblers. Brayden Smith across the midcourt line. Fires a 3 from the right wing. Off the back of the rim, no good. Get a rebound. Gobblers will try to fight for it down on the ground. They get it right back to Brecken Williams. Williams in transition down. Hot pass from Nathan Price. Eli back out to the Gobblers now. Just need to slow things down on the pass down low. Beautiful pass down low to Alex Palm, and the Gobblers are back within 10, 37-27.
It's a good hustle play on the backside. Eli knocks that ball back to Brecken, and they turn it around and go the other way.
10 minutes to go. Gobblers down 10. Cole Rucker in the lane. Pushes it back out to Gavin Gross. Going to fire a 3 just off the left side. Knocks it down. Nothing but the bottom of the net for the Foley Falcons. And Gavin Gross, 40-27. 17 points for Gavin Gross. Left wing now for Alex Palm to Brecken Williams. Back out to Alex Palm on the left wing to Brecken once again at the top of the circle. Give and go between Brayden and also Brecken. Works it left side again for Palm, trying to create some space for himself. Gets it over to Eli Christie. Down just outside the paint to Brecken, straight on. Free throw jumpers up and good for Brecken Williams.
Brecken's first field goal of the evening.
3 points in total as Gavin Gross across the timeline knocked down a 3 last time down. Gobblers hope to stop that as he'll roll one up, no good. Eli Christie with a one-handed rebound. With 9 minutes to go, Gobblers down 11 at 40-29. Left side, Christie to Palm at the free throw line. Back out to Braden, firing up a three for Braden. Good for the Gobblers. Gobblers down 8 at 40-32 with now Braden's 11th point of the night. Ethan Novak at the top of the circle, works it left side, down low for Tegan Duval, being defended. Back out now for Novak, drives from the free throw line, up with the right-handed shot. It just lays right in. Just hang on to the rim for half a second longer. It might fall out. But first points of the night for Ethan Novak, and the Gobblers are down 10 once again at 42-32. Back out. Brecken drives down low to Nathan Price. His shot up and in for two. 42-34. Defense should come up with something here on this possession with Gavin Gross across the timeline. Gets a screen from Ruckert. Double defended Gross to Ruckert on the right wing. Dribbling it back out. Brayton Smith. Down low for Tegan Duval. Down low again, up and in. Novak. Gobblers can't respond on the defensive end, and a timeout taken quickly by the Foley Falcons as the Gobblers stayed down within 10 points. Gobblers come with a basket. Foley comes up with an answer on the other end of the floor with 7:53 to play here in this second half of basketball.
Yeah, kind of a little scramble there on that last possession. Gobblers couldn't come up with the ball, had an opportunity, and kind of a lost coverage there, and Ethan Novak was able to make that easy layup.
I think also trying to get a steal on one of those errant balls that got tipped out of the air. Gobblers were just caught on a weak defensive situation as well. As the timeout taken by Foley, their second of this half as well. 3 timeouts remaining for each team. 2 fouls apiece for Aitkin and for Foley. 44-34. Foley on top here this evening.
Gobblers had some nice plays though, run it. Easy buckets, easy layups there, and if they can continue to run that offense, get some good looks here.
Gobblers will have to break through across defensively to Alex Palm. Palm to Eli Christie, back out to Brecken as it's tipped out of his hands, but Brecken comes out with it out of the baseline, out to Brayton Smith. Right side into the corner for Brecken Williams. Free throw line, back out. Eli Christie left alone for a three. No good. Rebounded down to Brecken, though, as he'll scoot it down to the free throw line. Back out for Eli, driving inside, left-handed shot. No good. Tipped it too strong. Gavin Gross comes out with the loose ball for the Falcons. Left side, 3 for Mason Zimmer. He'll drive, lays it up and in for 2. 12-point lead once again, 46-34. 7 minutes to go. Gobblers trail against Foley. Now coming across, or at least trying to get across the timeline. Brecken now to Nathan Price, Eli Christie. Back out to Brayton Smith. He'll drive from the right wing. Down low inside the paint. Kicks it back out. Brecken for a 3, no good. Gets his own rebound. He'll drive. Stops. Pops a shot from the right elbow, and a shot no good. Rebounded down to Eli Christie. Gobblers will reset with 6:40 to go. Palm from the left elbow extended. Trying to drive his way down low. Nathan Price, easy layup for him. Gobblers back down 10. 46-36, so 6.5 to play.
Gobblers need to stop here, put some pressure on.
Get the ball out of Gavin Gross's hands, and he's the one that has it. Gobblers get a steal from Eli Christie. He'll be contested the length of the floor, but he'll get the layup and in. Gobblers down 8, 46-38. Gavin Gross gets the ball across half court. Eli Christie now with 10 points on the night. Across half court, Gavin Gross works it right side, skips it over to Max Shimoleski. Shimoleski from the top of the key. Ball tipped out of the hands of Eli Christie as he goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Gobblers. Looking for Mason Zimmer. It's like Zimmer will come out, bringing back in Tegan Duval for Foley. He'll inbound right at midcourt. Max Shimoleski will establish the offense in the front court for the Falcons. Right side for Gavin Gross. Gross gets a screen from Duval. Down low to Duval. Stops, hesitates. Basket will not go, but a free throw's coming up for Duval as Isaac Osmus will be the recipient of a foul. His second, team's third of this half as well. 2 free throws for Tegan Duval coming up.
Third time to the line for Duval.
First free throws no good. Gobblers still trail 8, 46-38. 5:44 to play in this contest. Ethan Novak is back into the game. Checking in for Cole Ruckert. Second free throw from Duvel is no good. Rebounded down to Alex Palm. Gobblers get the benefit of 2 missed free throws from Tegan Duvel. Down 8, 5.5 to go. Right side, Brayton Smith. Left side, after a pass from Brecken Williams, cross-court heave to Brayton Smith. He's going to fire up a 3, no good, long rebound, loose. Alex Palm comes out with it, stops, hesitates, basket is too strong as it goes into Duvel's hands. Outletting the other side, Novak underneath the basket once again to Derek Dahman. Just throws up a short runner, rebounded to Novak, his shot no good. Duvel with a rebound, his shot contested, and we get a foul called on the floor. Tegan Duvel will be fouled against by Isaac Osmus once again. That'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, kind of a scramble there. Gobblers had an opportunity to cut it to 6.
Twice on that one possession alone, as the front end of 2 is good. Back up to a 9-point lead, 47-38. 5 minutes to go in regulation. Second free throw from Duvel's no good. Rebounded down to Osmus. Being defended after the rebound to Brecken Williams. Gobblers will take their time across half court with Brecken Williams. Williams right side to Brayton Smith. Smith back up to Williams at the top of the circle. Left side for Eli Christie. Christie to Alex Palm. Christie will drive from the left wing, throws up a runner, too strong as it hits off the side of the rim. We get a jump ball tie-up. Gobblers will get the basketball but lose the possession arrow.
A lot of contact in there.
Isaac Osmus down there, down low with Gavin Gross and Tegan Duvel. To the right side on the inbound from the right of the basket for Brecken Williams. He'll get it to Brayton Smith right at midcourt. Brayton to Brecken. Top of the left side, free throw line, right corner. Now to Brayden. Ooh, if he gets that pass clean, he's going to fire up the 3, does Brayden. But Brecken to Alex Palm in the paint. Skips it back out to Brayden. Step back, thought about the 3. He'll pass it at the free throw line for Alex Palm once again. Tipped out of his hands, the ball loose out on the floor. And Gobblers continue to look for it. It's going to go to Eli Christie. Christie, right-handed layup, leaves it short, but a blocking foul assessed against the likes of the Foley Falcons. I believe Max Shimoleski will be recipient of a foul. Shimoleski with his 2nd. And we'll get to the free throw line for Eli Christie.
Kind of a mad scramble there, Paul.
My goodness, last few possessions have been like that as well. Ball gets on the floor, everybody's diving for it. First of 2 free throws for Eli Christie is good, 47-39. Anytime the ball's loose on the floor, it just seems about everybody wearing a uniform tonight's chasing after it. Second free throw, no good. Duvel with a rebound as he hands it off to Gavin Gross with 3 fouls and, well, 17 points tonight. Duvel looks for the call across half court from Coach Bennett Laird. And it's going off the foot. A foul called on Brecken Williams. That'll be his first, team's 5th of the half for Aitkin. 3:57 to go. Gobblers down 47-39. 8-point differential. Inbound to Ethan Novak. Just staying inbounds right in front of the scorer's table. Novak at the top of the circle to Gavin Gross. Looks to drive, right-handed layup, and a charge called against Gavin Gross, and the ball didn't go. Huge call. Gobblers get Gavin Gross with his 4th foul, and also the basket did not go regardless. Gross will stay out on the floor. Gobblers get the ball back. Be Brecken Williams trying to break through, and now he'll get it to Alex Palm to Eli Christie. Trying to force it down low for Isaac Osmus. It's stripped away by the by the Falcons, and Max Shimoleski, and a foul called as in on the reach was Brayden Smith. It'll be his first. Team 6 of the half. Gobblers down 47-39.
Gotten those stops, whether it's been a rebound or a charge, we just haven't been able to get an opportunity for a basket there on the other end.
Same story was on Friday night as well. Gobblers look to right that wrong as a shot stripped out of the air. Nice block from Isaac Osmus, taking down Derek Dahman across half court for the Gobblers, and Brecken Williams. Cross court heave, Eli Christie. Christie to Alex Palm, out to Braden Smith. From the left wing, he'll drive loose the handle, and a foul call as the ball hits the deck. So does a Foley Falcon, looking for that loose ball. But a foul on the reach against Max Shimoleski. That's his third as well. Gowlers will keep the basketball. They inbound to left of the basket with Cole Ruckert checking in for Gavin Gross. Gross is off the floor.
Opportunity here.
Gobblers down 8, 47-39. Brecken Williams tries to get into Eli Christie, tipped out of the air, and Ethan Novak touches it as it goes out of bounds. Gobblers get
a break there.
Get a big-time break with a near turnover on the inbound. Cannot come up empty-handed too many more times, the clock not being their friend with 3 minutes to go and down 8 points. Brecken Williams, right side to Eli Christie, out on the wing, up top now for Brecken. Feeds at the free throw line for Alex Palm. Swings it right side. 3 from Eli Christie. Good for Eli Christie. Gobblers down 5 now with Eli Christie's 14th points of the night. 47-45. Gobblers have not got it down below 5 points through their deficit. That's where they stand with a 5-point deficit in front of them with 2.5 to play. Novak and a foul called underneath. Looks like it'll be Braden Smith with his second, judging by his demeanor.
Go to the line, I think. Max Shimoleski.
Shimoleski at the line. It's going to be 1-1 with the 17th foul of the half for Foley, or excuse me, for Aitkin. In the bonus is Foley. Front end of the 1-1 is up and good. 48-42. Gobblers have been within 5. Started off trailing by 5 at the half, grew out to a 10-point lead. Second free throw, no good. Rebound tipped out of the air, collected by Shimoleski after the missed free throw. And a timeout taken quickly by Coach Laird for Foley. 2:25 to go, 48-42 with a timeout on the floor. That'll give us a chance as well to take a timeout. Aitkin Gobblers trail 48-42 here on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
ISD1. We are ISD1. We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader. Definitely Miss Grader in class biology. Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
48-42 our score, just over 2 minutes of play in regulation. Gobblers trail against the Foley Falcons after a missed free throw on the back end of a 1-1. Foley gets the basketball. Timeout called by Coach Bennett Laird and now makes it a 2-possession lead once again. Gobblers have been within 5 in this second half, trailed by 5 at the half, but have been playing catch up ever since to start the second half. In fact, it was back out to a 10-point lead multiple times, 12 points even at one point for Foley, but Aitkin is not backing away here from the challenge. Gavin Gross is back in with 4 fouls here tonight. Inbound to left of the basket with Derek Dahman underneath as it's poked out of his hands, and well, it was actually initially inbounded but swatted back out by Eli Christie. Inbound will get to Tegan Duval just inside the arc, now at the top of the circle now for Cole Ruckert. He'll give it over to Gavin Gross out on the right wing. Skips it over to Max Shimoleski. Loses the handle. Gobblers come out with a loose ball with 2:11 to go. Gobblers will bring it up to the front court, trailing by 6 at 48-42. Brecken Williams to Braden Smith on the left wing. Back up top now, looking right side on the pass for Brecken Williams. He'll go back left side for Braden Smith. Give and go between him and Brecken at the free throw line. Left corner. Alex Palm going to fire up a 3. No good. Rebounded down to Duval. Second three-pointer from Alex Palm.
Good look, too.
A real good look. Nice ball movement from the Gobblers. But Gavin Gross across the timeline gets a screen. Left side for Tegan Duval, and we got to travel against Duval. Feet were slipping on the court with 1:35 to go. Gobblers trail by 6. 1:35. We got a Late substitution in for the Gobblers. We'll see Isaac Osmus come out, brings in Andrew Martinson with 1:35 to play. Brecken Williams will bring it up to the front court for Aitkin. Trailing by 6, 1.5 to play in regulation. Gobblers down those 2 possessions. To Braden Smith, left side for Brecken Williams once again. Looks left side for Andrew Martinson. Up top for Braden. Gonna fire a 3 straight on for Braden off the back of the rim. No good. Fight for a rebound. Shimoleski, and a foul called against the Gobblers. It'll be against Andrew Martinson, his 4th. Gobblers tried to get that 3-pointer from Braden Smith at the top of the circle. Just hits the back off the rim again. Shimoleski at the line to shoot a 1-and-1 with the 8th team foul of the half. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good, 49-42. We'll see Ethan Novak back in as Cole Ruckert checks out for Foley. Second free throw, no good. Rebounded down to Martinson. As we get a timeout taken right away by Coach Stanfield with 1:10 to go. Gobblers down 7, 49-42. Another full timeout called on the floor as well. We'll take it with him as well with 1:10 to go. Gobblers down 7 with the basketball on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Go All-Stars.
49-42 with 1:10 to play in regulation. Gobblers down by that score against the Foley Falcons. Coach Scott Stanfield, after the rebound by Aitkin, brought out the whiteboard to draw up the next play. Gobblers, at this point, every possession needs to be points here tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah, in the last 2 we had great looks. You know, Alex rims went out and Braden rims went out, and so we've got the looks. Now we just need a couple to fall for us.
1:10 to go. Gobblers with the basketball, down 49-47. Eli Christie, 14 points. Braden Smith with 11. Inbound to Eli Christie. Clock will run as he establishes the offense in the front court to Brecken Williams. Gets a screen from Andrew Martinson, and a foul called against the Gobblers and Andrew Martinson. We'll give the ball back to Foley, and also Martinson will foul out of the game. Trying to provide the screen for the Gobblers was Andrew Martinson, and they'll bring back in off the bench with the 5th foul for Martinson. Gavin Gross is back in for Foley, and it will be Ryan Alexander who checks in. 9-team foul of the half for Aitkin. 49-42. Shimoleski will inbound right in front of the Gobbler bench. Costly turnover by the Gobblers, and Gavin Gross will head to the free throw line. Fouled immediately with 1:02 to play. Foul will go against. Looks like it'll be against Brecken. Brecken Williams with his 2nd, team's 10th. There'll be 2 guaranteed free throws for Gavin Gross. 17 points on the night for him. Front end of the 2 is good. 50-42. Chase Dollar back into the game, and also Dollar looks to check in next opportunity. His 2nd free throw is good for Foley. 9-point lead, 51-42. There'll be 2 free throws guaranteed the rest of the way for Foley. Gobblers with 1 minute to go, and a timeout taken by the Gobblers with 59 seconds left here in regulation. Down by that score of 9 points. As just a quick timeout taken by Coach Scott Stanfield. Again, an early score final over on Cash 95.93 WIFM girls high school basketball with the Pillager Huskies winning 66-44 against Browerville Eagle Valley. We'll have a full broadcast schedule coming your way tomorrow night. We've got 4 stations going tomorrow night with a couple extra broadcasts on yourliveevent.com as well. We'll be sure to mention that in the post-game show with the broadcast schedule coming up here for tomorrow night. But we're the last man standing here on the broadcast here tonight. Gobblers down 9, 51-42, 59 seconds to go. Eli Christie from the top of the circle. Marks out the play offensively, looking for some help. Gets a screen from Palm, right side. Will kick it out right corner for Braden Smith. Going to fire up a 3, blocked halfway up, and Tegan Duval will get the ball into his hands, and a foul called, or actually, no, a timeout called by Foley. 44.8 seconds to go. Timeout taken by Foley. Gobblers were trying to get points and get them quick as well. Looking for Braden out in that right corner, then out to the wing for that three-pointer. And again, just needed points to get through for Aitkin here, especially now with just 44 seconds to go. Realm of possibility for that comeback waning and waning with each time that Foley ends up with the basketball.
Yeah, now this, double bonus at the free throw line, so a foul puts them there for 2. And just some empty possessions here at the end is, a couple looks that didn't go, and then some empty possessions here are really the difference in the game. Gobblers competing hard, though, working hard. The Northern Lakes Lightning in Detroit Lakes tonight, 6th ranked team in the state. The Lightning lost 3-2 in overtime. They fell last week to the 8th ranked team 4-3 in overtime, so they're playing good hockey.
They are.
Just not finding the back of the net.
We have the Northern Lakes Lightning coming up tomorrow night. They're going to be taking the road down at St. Cloud Cathedral at the MAC. Have that matchup for you on Skeeter 101.5 at the Northern Lakes Lightning girls at Walker tomorrow. They take on, that being Detroit Lakes, an early start for that one as well. Inbound to Max Shimoleski to Cole Ruckert. He'll bring it across half court. He's fouled immediately with 41 seconds to go.
Cole Ruckert's first time to the line tonight.
Eli Christie will receive the foul. That'll be his 4th. And at the line to shoot a pair with 51-42 is going to be Cole Ruckert. Misses the front end to 2. Second free throw will be a live ball for if it does not go in. Second free throw from Ruckert is good, 52-42. Back to that 10-point lead. That has been the calling card for Foley in this second half. Gobblers trail with Eli Christie across half court. 1 timeout left for each side. Eli Christie to chuck up a 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded down to number 11 and Chase Dollar and fouled immediately. 29.7 seconds remain. It'll be Brecken Williams assess his 3rd. And heading line to shoot a pair will be Chase Dollar.
His first time to the line tonight.
Too many empty possessions for Aitkin accumulated here in this contest, especially when they trailed by 5. Could not get that one basket to just streak on through. Especially now when they are going to be hitting the road tomorrow night. They're going to be at Esco. Second free throw is no good. Rebounded loose into the corner now, and a timeout taken by Foley. Their final timeout of the contest to keep the possession for the Foley Falcons. 27.1 seconds remain here. Final timeout on the floor as well.
That's the 3rd or 4th time that on a missed free throw that Foley has come up with that rebound. It's tough when that's what you're hoping to be able to get that miss and then don't come up with the rebound.
Again, Gobblers will be on the road coming up here tomorrow night. They'll be at Esco tomorrow night before their next with their next home contest coming up here, I believe next week as well. The Foley Falcons will be on the road on Thursday. Their next game at Little Falls, and again we'll have more Gobbler basketball coming up on Friday as Aitkin plays host to Pequot Lakes girls basketball. We'll have Aitkin Gobbler wrestling sandwiched in between a couple of basketball games. Tuesday and Thursday right here from Aitkin High School. Again, you can check out that full broadcast schedule of upcoming Aitkin Gobbler home events by going to rjbroadcasting.com. 52-42 our score. Foley going to come out with a win to snap a losing streak of 3 straight losses and 4 in their last 5. Aitkin, unfortunately, will tally another one in the loss columns. The inbound stolen away by the Gobblers to Eli Christie with 21 seconds to go. Left side to Ryan Alexander. Step back three-pointer, no good, short of the mark. Into the hands of Gavin Gross, and the Gobblers will back out. With it being 52-42, Gavin Gross will bring it across half court, dribbling out the final 7 seconds of the ball game, and Foley will handle it off, and that will do it. 52-42, our final score. Aitkin falls against Foley tonight here on the Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com. Final score at 52-42. We'll take a break. Post-game show on the way here as the Gobblers fall tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com and KKIN The Gobbler.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
If your vehicle has an unfortunate mishap, you want the best in quality bodywork. You need to take it to Aitkin Body Shop. They can handle any collision or auto glass repair, and they have a state-of-the-art facility and technology. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit them at 421 North Minnesota Avenue. Towing services also available. Give them a call at 218-927-2883. Remember the name that stands for quality and trust. That's Aitkin Body Shop, providing exceptional auto body collision and paint repair since 1974.
It's been more than just a family tradition since 1938. Purchasing a new Ford car, truck, or pre-owned vehicle from Aitkin Motors. Family owned and operated. Aitkin Motors offers you a stress-free car shopping experience. Need an oil change? New tires? Check out the low-price tire guarantee. Aitkin Motors has a full service department with factory-trained Ford technicians. For hours, appointments, and vehicle inventory, visit AitkinMotorsCO.com.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1.
We are ISD1. We are ISD1.
My favorite teacher is Mr. Dustin Richters.
Favorite teacher is Mr. Miller.
Mr. Googe is my favorite teacher.
Definitely Miss Grader. Definitely Miss Grader in class biology. Mr. May.
Right now is psychology. Mr. Smith's my favorite teacher.
Mr. May's science class.
Any art class.
Mr. May in my ornithology class.
We always practice good sportsmanship and respect. Go Gobblers. Go All-Stars.
My roots run deep. I dream of a world where planting a seed can bring forth the food and knowledge our world needs right now. The field is my classroom, and I have the power to make a difference. I am going to feed the world someday.
Welcome back here to KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 for those also tuning in on YourLiveEvent.com. Aitkin Gobblers fall tonight by the score of 52-42 against the Foley Falcons as the post-game show gets rolling here tonight. Gobblers a little bit slow out of the opening gate here tonight with big shots hit early on from Gavin Gross, and well, that would be the storyline at least through a majority of the early goings of the first half, built up to a 10-point lead in that first half, and Foley would take that lead going into the halftime locker room 28-23, even with the Gobblers trailing by as much as 11 that first half. They were able to trim it down to a 5-point deficit going into the halftime break. Braden Smith and Eli Christie combined for 8 points in that first half, but Foley held the margin in the rebounding department 13-10 in that first half, but the Gobblers kept the turnovers low at 6-2 coming into halftime. But second half, more of the same as Foley hit a couple of shots early on, back up to a 10-point lead, and even built it up to a 12-point lead in that second half, and Aitkin tried to trim it down as best they could. Got within 5 points, but again, that's as close as the Gobblers would get. and they would ultimately not come up with those big shots in the latter moments of this second half and ultimately fall once again, finishing with a 52-42 final score here tonight. Paul Vold joined alongside Jeremy Jansen here into the postgame show. And again, Jeremy, a couple of things of noting, but ultimately some of those shots the Gobblers needed just would not go for them tonight.
Yeah, in those critical times too, late in the game, obviously you got to make some big buckets, but the compete level was there, just didn't get some shots to fall and a couple open possessions when they hoped that wouldn't be that way, and the Gobblers come up on the losing end tonight's game.
Gobblers fall 52-42, now falling to a 5-8 record on the season. Foley's now 5-7 on the season as well. More at the post-game show coming up here. We'll look at the final numbers with this contest. Hopefully get a quick interview with Coach Scott Stanfield. Big deal player of the game in Bridge. I bring the energy player of the game coming up tonight as well. Gobblers fall by 10 on KKIN AM The Gobbler and YourLiveEvent.com.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
I'm dreaming of a world where thinkers and doers collide, where technology creates pathways for new opportunities and ideas. I want to ask questions and shape the answers that lead to real and meaningful advancements in this digital era. I'm going to innovate the world someday.
Welcome back here on the post-game show. 52-42, our final score here on KKIN AM The Gobbler. And for those also tuning in with the video stream at YourLiveEvent.com, Paul Vold with Jeremy Jansen here on the post-game show. Looking at some of the numbers from this contest as well. I mean, we talked about early on some shots went down for Foley, and one of them was Gavin Gross, finishing, 18 points on the night for him today?
I had him for 19. 19. He had 5 threes, had 5 rebounds. Nice night for Gavin. He had a couple big shots, too. It wasn't just making them. It was in clutch situations. And Tegan Duvall had 9 points, 8 rebounds for the Falcons. That's a game high for Gavin. On the Gobbler side, 14 points, 8 rebounds for Eli Christie, 11 points for Braden Smith. In the rebounding category, Foley rebounded us 28-23. Free throw attempts, Gobblers 5 of 12 from the line, and the Falcons 8 of 17. They went a little bit more, shot just a little bit better. 6 turnovers for the Gobblers, 9 for the Falcons. So a pretty clean game for the Gobblers. It's just, those 4 turnovers in the second half came at crucial situations, and like to have a couple of them back, but Gobblers ultimately played well, competed well, and difference between winning and losing, Paul, is not very much.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
In any sport, and so you could have a couple things here or there go your way, and you're on the winning side of this. So Gobblers competed well. They got a tough task tomorrow, and the Eskimos up there in Esco, but again, back on the horse, and no time to dwell on this one. You got to look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, you even mentioned it as too, the difference between winning and losing, especially that stretch where they played 3 games in 5, the 3 games and a 1 week in whole, losing by just 9 collective points. Couple of plays here and there Gobblers could be sitting at, well, now they could be 8-5 right now on the season if you look at it too. And even tonight, a couple empty possessions, couple of maybe forced passes down low when they had a good open look for a shot. Ultimate difference. I mean, 4 or 5 wins here for the Gobblers that could go either way, and that's just how the game is won with a couple of plays here and there.
Yeah, the tough thing is those games, that you lose by a little bit here, one possession there, one possession here. You learn from those games, though. Mm-hmm. It teaches you what you don't want to do the next time and what the feeling is like in a close loss. So you put that in your stomach, let that pit burn a little bit, so the next time you get out there and have that opportunity to play, maybe not make the same mistakes, and in those clutch situations you make those shots that you hope. But they competed well. Gobblers are working hard, and they're a fun team to watch, and they'll grow from this, and they'll be better tomorrow.
Gobblers again fall 52-42 here against the Foley Falcons. Aitkin's now 5-9 on the season as we get a chance now to get our big deal player of the game tonight, brought to you by Atwater GM in Aitkin, that being Riverwood Healthcare, Pizza Ranch in Baxter, Little Falls, W.W. Thompson Concrete Products in Brainerd, BigDealAuctions.com, Cuyuna Regional Medical Center, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, Shannon's Auto Body in Brainerd, Takedown Gym in Brainerd. Big deal player of the game tonight will go to Gavin Gross for the Foley Falcons. 19 points, 5 rebounds, and overall just needed a shot, did Foley, and, well, they got one with the likes of Gavin Gross, who piled on again. 19 points tonight, our big deal player of the game here this evening. Well, we also talk our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game here this evening.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm the project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
Our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game tonight from the Foley Falcons go Tegan Duvel tonight. 9 points, 8 rebounds in the win for the Falcons as well, snapping a 3-game losing streak. And, coming into this contest, similar to the way to Aitkin, 4 losses in their last 5 games. And the Foley Falcons now back into the win column, unfortunately for Aitkin. Another loss now sending them to 5-9 on the season. So a big deal player of the game for Gavin Gross, or Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game to Tegan Duvel for the Foley Falcons. Take another break here on the Postgame Show. Start wrapping things up here from tonight. See if we get Coach Stanfield to join us here on the Postgame Show. With the turnaround for tomorrow night, be interesting to see if we get that or not. Nonetheless, Gobblers fall 52-42 here on KKIN AM The Gobbler, yourliveevent.com.
Riverwood Healthcare Center in Aitkin provides total joint care for shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, hands, and wrists. Our team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons use innovative procedures to increase mobility and reduce pain. Get back to the activities you enjoy. Learn more at riverwoodhealthcare.org. Riverwood Healthcare, your trusted leader for orthopedics and sports medicine.
I'm dreaming of a world where everyone has the opportunity for education. Where classrooms are not only a place to learn, but to make an impact. I will help the next generation of game changers and difference makers. I am going to teach the world someday.
Here in beautiful central Minnesota, we get to enjoy nature every day. At Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative, we understand because we live, work, and play here too. However, just because you're not in the big city doesn't mean you can't have access to great internet service. Let MLEC Fiber give you the fast and reliable internet you deserve. Check to see if MLEC Fiber is available where you live. Visit us online or call our office at 218-429-0433.
Welcome back here tonight one more time on KKIN AM 930 FM translator 103.1 The Gobbler, and also for those tuning in at rjbroadcasting.com with the video stream at yourliveevent.com. Gobblers fall tonight 52-42. Again, Gobblers had a few chances to clutch into a, well, 2-possession deficit at 5 points and unfortunately come up again just a little bit short with a few shots that just did not want to go in. I don't know what it will take here for the Gobblers to get some of those shots to go, but man, the kids are trying hard. They're playing as hard as they can here this evening. Again, Gobblers fall tonight to 5-9 on the season. They'll be in action tomorrow night at Esco. So they got that long road trip up to Esco before coming back here to Aitkin High School coming up here next week. Foley is now 5-7 on the season, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They'll be in action coming up Thursday at Little Falls. But again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight's broadcast. Coach Stanfield most likely will not be joining us here in the final moments of the post-game show. Again, with a quick turnaround, lots to get to, recap the film from this one, and head into the next game as well. Leading the way for the Aitkin Gobblers tonight, it was Eli Christie, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 11 points as well for Braden Smith. Seeing 4 points and 5 rebounds for Andrew Martinson as well. 5 points and 2 rebounds for Aitkin's Alex Palm. Just 6 turnovers in total for Aitkin. They're cutting down the turnovers, but again, a lot of those empty shots just not cutting it for the Gobblers as well. Gavin Gross led the way with 19 points for Foley, coupled right behind teammate, that being Tegan Duville, with 9 points and 8 rebounds for the Foley Falcons, who shot 8 of 17 at the free throw line. Gobblers 5 of 12 at the charity stripe tonight. But again, as we do wrap things up here from Aitkin, don't forget tomorrow night we've got a fully loaded schedule coming our way tomorrow night. Starts with Aitkin Gobbler Wrestling right here on yourliveevent.com. Malacca and Aitkin from Aitkin High School. 5:40 pregame start on yourliveevent.com. We'll have Detroit Lakes at Northern Lakes Girls Hockey in Walker. A 5:40 pregame on Talk 100 KLKS. Boys High School Hockey Northern Lakes at St. Cloud Cathedral on Skeeter 101.5 with a 6:40 pregame. Boys High School Basketball Barnum at McGregor, and before that contest will be Renshaw and McGregor, a McGregor doubleheader on KKN FM Real Country 94.3 with a 5:25 pregame, and then we'll have Boys High School Basketball Red Lake at Pine River Bacchus on yourliveevent.com with a 7:10 pregame, and then we'll have Bertha Hewitt and Pillager on Cash 95.9 with the 7:10 pregame tomorrow night as well. Gobblers fall 52-42 here this evening. Gobbler boys will be on the road coming up tomorrow night. We'll have Aitkin Gobbler girls basketball Friday night right here on KKN AM and also on yourliveevent.com. But again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. And if you heard, and some of our sponsors from tonight's broadcast, be sure to thank your sponsors with your patronage and always shop local here in the Brainerd Lakes area. As we do wrap things up again tomorrow night, Aitkin Gobbler Wrestling at home against Malacca. 5:40 pregame start right here on yourliveevent.com. Till next time, this is Paul Vold signing off here from Aitkin High School. Big thank you to Aitkin High School, Foley High School for allowing us to broadcast, Coach Laird and Coach Stanfield for talking to us in the pregame show and checking in with us as well. Big thank you to Jeremy Jansen for doing book, color commentating as well. And a big thank you to both high schools once again for allowing us to broadcast. Again, signing off from Aitkin High School, this is Paul Vold. You enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and we will talk to you next time here on KKIN, AM 930, FM Translator 103.1, The Gobbler, and also at yourliveevent.com. Again, thanks again for tuning in here on this Monday night. You enjoy the rest of your Monday night, and good night, everybody.